today's subject is about annual recurring revenue, and the fact that it's the only metric really that matters. Nothing else matters. And I think that when you look at this ARR, everyone loves talking about it. Everyone wants sales at a certain rate. I mean, in fact, I think we all need sales at a certain rate anyway. And once you've got these deals, you want to keep hold of the revenue. Of course you do. And and that's why you employ a load of customer success directors. But really, for me, the giveaway, you see where I'm going to lead with this, the giveaway is the description itself, ARR, annual recurring revenue. You want ARR, and you want to keep ARR, but every single thing you're doing to win it, every bit of prospecting, every bit of marketing, is being measured on a daily, weekly or monthly basis. So that kind of activity is like annual on the way out, but daily on the way in. And the two don't match up. And they've never matched up. So really, everything most businesses do today is based on like generating something all the time. So you've got demand generation, you've got lead generation, sales generation, pipeline generation. So the language alone tells you where the focus is. And all of it compounds I would say, the thinking that selling and marketing are simply just-in-time exercises. That's something that needs to be done immediately, and something that's measured this week, even though every B2B has got lead time and every CEO knows it. And no one wants to hear that a decision has been postponed. And when it is, somehow it becomes the salesperson's fault, which is kind of mad, really. And so you've got to look at you look at the way it is. And so the way that businesses have been built, that really today, that they have been forced by the MarTech industry and their advocates, your marketing teams, to use all the technologies that the consumer industry uses. And that's kind of predominantly like marketing automation. So you've got your Eloqua, Pardot, Marketo, HubSpot, the whole shooting match, really. But the whole machine, but you could say, like, underneath it, this kind of consumer grade software, the same teams are applying the only way to describe it is like 1950s strategies like cold calling and engaging one prospect at a time. I mean, two completely different eras, but kind of stitched together. And of course, everyone looks at it and wants to present it as some kind of so coherent strategy. But my experience is, well, there's a lot of factors that seem to be working against businesses today. Everyone wants a diary full of appointments, but it's rarely the case. And the appointments that do exist, unfortunately, are invariably poor quality because the BDR was desperate, not the prospect. So that's not a sales problem. That's a structural problem. I mean, we, in show 6, and not the last one, the one before, we showed that one BDR has to make 300 calls a week to find one kind of mildly interested person. And kind of working in a realistic pool, I would say, of 1,600 companies, if you've got a 10,000 number TAM, it would take them 33 years to ring them up. So when someone says, the CEO says, we need more appointments this week, they're asking a system that was never built to deliver them. You've kind of got to look at the rhythm of it, the process of it. The cycle of B2B is based on a week, month, quarter, and then repeat. Marketing concentrates on this micro activity, single posts, as in social media posts, asking staff to share their posts on their personal profiles, single cold calls, all of it trying to find that needle in a haystack prospect. Who's what? Going to be ready to buy this week or Friday? And you compare that to how we, the buyers, actually buy. And a serious business works in like tens, fives and ones, 10-year mission, 5-year strategy, 3 years to play out the tactics, and the current year for ops. So you've got to tell me how does any kind of B2B marketing activity run on a weekly, I don't like the word, but cadence, if you call it cadence. How can it possibly align with that? And it can't. It just can't. It doesn't. And that's actually the standard behaviour we've all accepted. So if you think about your new business prospect, the one who signed up last quarter, the one who became annual recurring revenue on your dashboard, they didn't start looking when they signed up. They started looking, what, a year ago? Longer? 2 years ago? And that's the point. They were quietly watching. They're looking at reading and learning and comparing, while your marketing team was busy kind of running this week's campaign or chasing this month's MQLs. So the annual recurring revenue you booked this quarter was earned by exposure, to kind of follow this bit, earned by exposure that happened 12 months or so ago. And the annual recurring revenue you're going to book next year is being earned, or not earned, right now. It's by the I suppose by the exposure you're choosing to create right now or not create. So marketing people won't step out of the cycle. And I think CEOs are afraid of making the wrong decisions. But I mean, business isn't so good. It never is really. But there doesn't seem to be any light at the end of the tunnel. Nothing's changed. It's the same plan, different week. So the metric that everyone says matters, annual recurring revenue, the one that's printed on every investor deck, and the ones almost like every board meeting opens with, is being chased by activity that has no relationship to it whatsoever. And that's the gap. Okay? That's I suppose the word is like the show. And once you see it, once you understand it, you can't unsee it. And so we're looking at this. I mean, behaviour, looking at behaviour is identical, but the measurement's broken. So let me ask you one thing. Let's kind of talk about analogies. So if you buy a car, what do you actually do? You look, you think, talk to your partner, go to the showroom, test drive. You decide on finance if that's what you're going to do. Go away, think about it a bit more. And maybe you buy something. So nobody walks into some car showroom on a Monday morning and signs a finance agreement before lunch. And nobody expects them to either. The car salesperson doesn't ring you up and say, actually, I noticed you came into the showroom the other day and you sat in the seat for 11 and a half minutes. Can we book a 15-minute chat to discuss your next steps? You just wouldn't. Yeah. So why does it look any better for like high value B2B sales, SaaS sales, tech sales, whatever? There's no point about how many prospects, or rather there's no question about how many prospects your salespeople can talk to. The bottleneck isn't there. The only way to close more deals is if your prospects have already done their thinking, that they've thought about it, processed it, learned about it before you get to speak to them. And that's the warm-up. Yeah. You basically want to get them prepped up in advance. You want to be teaching your prospects how to buy from you and why to buy from you. Teach them. Don't sell to them. You don't need to. And once B2Bs grasp that, the entire sequence kind of inverts, and marketing stops being like a campaign. It becomes a curriculum. And this basically leads straight into your understanding why prospects do what they do and why they don't. Why do prospects buy from us? Or from anyone for that matter. It's difficult. And also, no is a decision. And no, when they say no, that happens when they're not fully conversant about the options. Right? They didn't say no to your product. They said no because no one taught them how it would deliver an ROI. They couldn't see it. So they default to the safest answer, which is stay where they are. So the deal you lost wasn't lost on price. It was lost months and months earlier in the absence of teaching. Simple as that. So you compare these two kind of species, if you want to call it like that. The objective of a B2C, a consumer-related sale, is being clear about it, self-gratification and the fulfillment of desire. New shoes, new holiday, phone upgrade, and so on. But the objective of a B2B sale is fundamentally different. It's to solve a problem and to achieve a return on investment. They're not the same animal, they're different, behave different ways. And so they shouldn't be measured the same way. This makes sense, yeah? But I would say we haven't been paying attention because we're being told what to do by the people who are guessing and basing it all on B2C statistics